6 at noon.
Now at noon, a nurse accused of sexually assaulting a patient looking to get released. The latest coming out of court in a moment. Plus, a shooting near Apopka turns deadly. New details about the case involving 4 men hurt. A nurse at Advent Health accused of sexually violating a patient could be released on bond. This man was arrested last week, charged with going into the hospital room of an amputee, then carrying out the sex attack. News 6's Mark Lehman has details behind the judge's decision.
A bond hearing was scheduled to take place this morning for Abednego Couture, but before that was set to happen, the state said it would not seek pretrial detention, meaning he will now have the chance to get out of jail. 46-year-old Abednego Couture was booked into jail Wednesday on charges connected to an alleged sex attack on a patient at Advent Health Hospital in Orlando. Now, less than a week later, it appears he has a chance to be released while awaiting trial. The Orange County Jail website listing Couture's bond at a total of $75,000. That amount was set by a judge after court records show a notice of intent was filed by the state to not seek pretrial detention. According to investigators, Couture was working as a nurse at Advent Health on Rollins Street last year when he entered the hospital room of an amputee patient and sexually assaulted her. He's also accused of giving the woman morphine even though she refused the opioid. Orlando police carried out an investigation spanning several months, ending with an arrest warrant served last week. Couture is facing felony counts of sexual battery on an incapacitated person and molestation of a disabled adult. Advent Health, meanwhile, has placed Couture on leave. Couture next has an arraignment set for next week, but it appears that also will not be happening. He has entered a not guilty plea and waived that arraignment. His attorney, meanwhile, has filed demands for disclosure and discovery in the case. In Orange County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
In Orange County, we're pressing deputies for more information after a deadly shooting late last night. This was the scene. Deputies say it happened on South Goldenrod Road around 10. Deputies say a man in his 30s was shot and went to the hospital where he died. The shooting is under investigation. We are continuing to ask questions about what happened, and if there are any suspects, we will update you on air and online at clickorlando.com. In Orange County, we're learning a shooting last week has turned deadly in Apopka. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says 21-year-old Jamarian Griffin died after the shooting. On Thursday night, just before 9:30, deputies responded to a call for a shooting on West 12th Street. Deputies say 4 men were shot and all were treated at the hospital. Detectives tell us the 4 shot ranged in ages from 21 to 48. Orange County Sheriff's Office says the investigation is ongoing. You can follow all of the updates and get the latest news on clickorlando.com. Time now is 12:03. Time to get a check of our forecast. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos was here. It was a warm weekend for us, Candace, but as usual, we do have changes on the way.
We do. We're going to be tracking actually almost 2 different fronts in the next 2 weeks. And yes, that does include a possible cool down for spring break. We'll talk about a little bit about that coming up in the next couple minutes, but let's talk live look outside right now. Just a beautiful start. You can see some of those fair weather clouds in Orlando International, Kissimmee Lakefront. You can see how beautiful it is there. Plenty of sunshine in Port Canaveral and nice clear skies currently there in Daytona Beach. Everybody right now either in the upper 70s to low 80s at this point in time, but we are closing in on your record-breaking heat for this afternoon. For your Monday, the record to beat is 90 set back in 2024. Our forecast high is 88. Now today, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's all really going to be about the heat. Now, rain chances are there. There'll be a very low-end chance, much lower than what we dealt with over the weekend. Speaking of rain right now, you can see radar sweeps are going around, really not picking up a whole lot. We were tracking a little bit of rain out over the open waters, but for today, the main bulk of the rain will come as the east and west coast sea breeze collides. But overall, you can see the rain chances still very much on the low end side of things. But we are looking at the first of 2 fronts. The first one comes in on Thursday. Notice rain chances will go up to about a 50%. Looks like we could have a good dose of rain. Temperatures, though, really not going to be cooling down a whole lot, but we are going to start really ramping up those temperatures and bringing in another cold front by spring break. Temperatures out the door area-wide, again, upper 70s in the Villages, nearing 80 in Orlando, 80 already in Melbourne and Mickle. We'll have more details, though, on the temperature and rain trend as we head into the next couple of days coming up in just a couple minutes.
Candace, thank you. New at noon, we now know the name of the driver arrested in connection to a deadly crash that shut down part of State Road 436 in Altamont Springs last week. Police arresting Adam Bass over the weekend. Officers say Bass was driving under the influence, crashed and killed Gary Milanowski. Bass is charged with DUI, causing death to a human, and resisting an officer. He is out on bond. In Lake County, some neighbors are mourning the loss of an adult and a teen who died in a fiery crash yesterday morning. It happened along County Road 565 east of Groveland near Sloan's Ridge Road. The community held a vigil last night for 17-year-old Cristobal Hernandez and 19-year-old Brian Negrete. Cristobal's brother Ramiro says the two were close friends and were driving somewhere else after a party early Sunday morning.
A tragic loss. Surprised, no one's expecting a death like this to occur. We didn't get a chance to, say our goodbyes, and it was just so sudden that, like I said, can't hold him one last time, can't hug him, can't tell him we love him.
FHP says the driver lost control and ran off the right side of the road, crashing into trees where the car then burst into flames. Troopers tell us both teens died at the scene. As the fighting with Iran escalates, Tehran has confirmed that the country has a new supreme leader following the killing of his father, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. President Trump says he's not happy about the selection and previously said he wants to be involved in picking the next leader. CBS's Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Thick black smoke rose above Beirut today as Israel targets Iranian-backed Hezbollah in Lebanon. In Tehran, plumes engulfed much of Iran's capital city after weekend strikes by the U.S. and Israel targeting oil storage facilities.
I think we are all seeing right now the threat that this clerical regime poses to the region and to the world. They are trying to hold the world hostage. They are attacking their neighbors.
The latest fighting comes as Iranian clerics chose slain Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei's son, Mojtaba Khamenei, as his successor, prompting celebrations from hardline supporters. Israel offered this warning.
The highest risk job right now is to be the new Ayatollah. That's a high-risk job.
President Trump told Fox News he's not happy about the selection. He had said he wanted to be involved in choosing the next leader.
We don't want to come back every 5 years or every 10 years and do this. So we want to pick a president that's not going to be leading their country into a war.
The president is also blaming Iran for the deadly strike on a girls' school late last month. Sources tell CBS News an early U.S. assessment suggests the United States is likely responsible, but did not target the school intentionally.
It's being investigated, which is the only answer I'm prepared to give.
As the president and vice president paid tribute this weekend to the service members killed in conflict, U.S. Central Command says a seventh has died from injuries sustained during the initial retaliatory attacks. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Another Central Florida city is turning to cameras to try to keep drivers under the speed limit when class is in session. In an effort to keep kids safe, Florida law allows the use of cameras to catch speeders in school zones. As News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez reports, Titusville is the latest to install them. And today, the 60-day warning period begins for a handful of schools there.
As of late last year, over 200 of these cameras have been activated. They capture the plates of drivers speeding in school zones, and for the next 60 days here in Titusville, violators will be sent warnings instead of citations. Phase 1 officially begins at 6 schools: Apollo Elementary, Coquina Elementary, Andrew Jackson Middle School, St. Teresa Catholic School, Parks Avenue Christian Academy, and Titusville High School. And at least 5 more schools are expected to have cameras here in the future. The speed detection cameras will be active throughout the entire day, including 30 minutes before and after school starts. Here's how they work. If someone is driving 11 over the posted speed limit, the system will record them. Those violations are then reviewed by a Titusville police officer before a warning is sent to the registered owner of the car.
I want to be clear about the purpose of this program. This is about changing driver behavior and protecting children. Speed safety cameras are not a replacement for police officers, but they are a force multiplier and a proven tool that helps reduce speeding, crashes, and pedestrian injuries in school zones.
Again, this is the beginning of the warning phase here in Titusville, and it will go until May 8th. Once that is over, violators will be sent a $100 citation in the mail. Reporting in Titusville, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
With just one day to go before voters in Apopka head to the polls, lawyers for 2 of the candidates for mayor spoke in a virtual hearing today to an Orange County judge. Current Mayor Brian Nelson filed a lawsuit against current Orange County Commissioner Christine Moore, claiming she hasn't lived in the city long enough to qualify for the race. Moore denies the allegation and has filed a motion to dismiss the case, but either way, it likely will not be resolved before the election. The city of Sanford could soon be spending millions of dollars for improvements on its wastewater plant. Coming up, what's included in the plan as residents hope it will help get rid of a smelly situation. Here is a live look for you from our Mount Dora cam on this Monday. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Happening today, a new push to clean up the water in Sanford. We've been telling you for months about the foul smell causing problems near the city's wastewater treatment plant. Now, in just hours, city leaders are set to vote to spend millions to make improvements. Your Seminole County community correspondent Mark Lehman is following this story.
People living near downtown Sanford admit the situation has improved, but the smell also returns from time to time. As that's an ongoing concern, the city is pushing for upgrades to the facility. Some much-needed improvements could soon be on the way for Sanford's troubled wastewater treatment plant. On Monday, commissioners are voting on $19 million in state funding to harden infrastructure against future hurricanes. Sanford also wants to spend $3.5 million in city funds for new clarifying equipment.
I don't mind going and spending money as long as they fix something.
The projects are coming after the city worked for months to fix a smelly situation.
It gets pretty rough sometimes, definitely.
So over here, I live about 2 miles down the road and I still can smell it.
Last fall, multiple equipment failures led to a foul sewage odor wafting into downtown. A permanent component was eventually installed in December.
It's gotten better, but it definitely does come around still.
Residents say they've seen an improvement, but as the smell sometimes lingers, they hope the new projects will be a benefit for the city.
If they actually improve it, I guess it'd be a good thing.
If approved, the city would not have to repay the $19 million in state funding for infrastructure improvements. All of this will be voted on during Sanford's commission meeting, which is set for 7 tonight. I'm your Seminole County community correspondent, Mark Lehman, News 6.
New at noon, the city of Bunnell is issuing a citywide precautionary boil water notice. The city says water service was temporarily interrupted because of a loss in water pressure for 8 minutes. Leaders are now asking residents to boil all water you use for drinking and cooking for at least 1 minute. We will let you know when the notice is lifted. 12:15, time to turn to our weather now. Let's start with a live look outside at our Launch Credit Union camera at Port Canaveral. So much blue sky out there on this Monday. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is here, and we're talking about some unseasonably warm temperatures, but they're not sticking around.
Yes, and we're so happy to have Julie back on the noon.
Hey, thanks.
Yes.
I'm back.
You're back. Jonathan's back. Julie's back.
Our family back together.
They are. All right, let's talk about the weather forecast for today. We are watching warmer air starting to really build in ahead of a weakening cold front that's going to stay to our north. It will continue to keep that moisture in place, and that's why it feels a little extra muggy out there, and that's why we had the fog early this morning as well. So the week looks like this. Early in the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to be all about the heat. Temperatures nearing 90 degrees almost every afternoon. The big question is when will we officially hit that 90-degree mark? On average, it happens around the 1st of April. But spring is very variable here in Central Florida. We can get it as early March or early May. It really depends on the year. But no matter what, though, we are still technically in March, and technically fronts still have the opportunity to get here. And it certainly looks like we'll be tracking another cold front on Thursday, bumping up those rain chances about 50 to 60%. So temperatures out the door right now, upper 70s, low 80s. You're running those errands, getting some lawn work done. Just make sure to hydrate. Have the sunscreen, lather up the sunscreen, because it is certainly going to be a warm day. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
The average is 78. We're going to be about 10 degrees above that for our inland zones, low 80s there along the coastline. But again, we could be not only flirting with the first 90-degree day of the year, but also flirting with records, primarily in Orlando, Sanford, and Leesburg. I do think that the coast will stay a touch cooler because of that ocean breeze. Now, that same ocean breeze, by the way, will start to try and develop a couple sea breeze showers and thunderstorms. Both Saturday and Sunday, we had very organic sea breeze interaction, things that we normally see as the rainy season starts to kind of shift in. While I don't think this is a slam dunk start to our rainy season, it certainly has a couple little hints that it's trying to get its act together and trying to produce some rain. Just the rain is going to be very, very minimal. If we do get caught under a scattered shower or two, could be developing some thunderstorms, gusty winds. So certainly some of these storms will have a little bit of a punch to them. One area where we're going to be watching that certainly has a punch to it is our next cold front. As of now, until about Thursday afternoon, we should stay mainly dry. But as that rain sweeps through the area, we will continue to see some scattered showers in the forecast with temperatures running near normal. Of course, the full timeline of when the rain rolls out, we'll have to wait and see. But the beach forecast for today, 81 degrees. A rip current risk, though, still would be in the high category. It is a packed house, though, right now at Daytona Beach. And spring break hasn't technically officially started yet. 78 degrees right now under mostly clear skies. The winds out of the west. Speaking of spring break, there is the potential, and again, we're talking long range at this point, that the early part of spring break could be in the low 80s. And by St. Patrick's Day, maybe midweek, we're going to track the potential for a new cold front. This one could actually bring some cooler air. Where could we get back into the 60s? So if you're planning some outdoor activities around the Sunshine State, you might need a swimsuit and a sweater, like it feels like it happens every spring break, Julie.
It sure does. Candace, thank you. Open your camera app right now and scan that QR code you see on your screen. Click the link because we want to see your weather pictures and videos. And you know I love your pet pictures. Please send me your pet pictures. They will end up on TV if you send them to me. You can also go to clickorlando.com/pins, upload your pictures and videos that way. Clocks are now set an hour later as we settle into daylight saving time, but experts warn about health issues. After the break, what those health risks are. Plus, why lines at security are getting longer at airports nationwide. Here's a live look for you at downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back. It is that time of year again. Daylight saving time has officially begun. Local school districts are warning students about the later sunrise after we sprang forward this weekend. And that's only one potential issue. According to the Cleveland Clinic, data shows the shift in time can lead to everything from a rise in cardiovascular events to an increase in accidents. Sleep disruptions can affect mood and lead to things like headaches and increased irritability.
Sometimes people may decide like, okay, I'm going to on that Monday morning, I'm not going to schedule anything that takes, a lot more focus or high kind of, attention tasks.
Experts say if you are going through it today, opening the blinds and maybe going outside for a walk might help you feel better. Passengers at airports across the nation are dealing with ever-growing wait times. It's because of the partial government shutdown impacting the Transportation Security Administration. TSA agents are once again working without pay while Congress debates funding for the Department of Homeland Security. This is what it looked like Sunday at Hobby Airport in Houston. Some people waited in line for more than 3 hours. Similar scenes are playing out at other airports across the country. Check out our primetime lineup on News 6 Plus. Matt and Ginger have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegis is back and answers your weather questions at 9:30. Then watch the late news an hour earlier. It's all tonight on News 6 Plus. Download our streaming app for free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. Here's a live look outside for you. This is our Launch Credit Union camera at Port Canaveral. You're watching News 6 at noon. We're back in 3 minutes.
All right, as we take you here, a quick last check of your full 7-day rain chances for today and tomorrow. Even Wednesday, low end chance, of course, it's not a zero, so we can't completely rule out the chance of a couple sea breeze thunderstorms developing. But the big story for the next 3 days will be that heat, as highs will be back to nearing 90 degrees. And then we are tracking the arrival of a new cold front on Thursday. I know big questions about spring break.
Yeah.
When's the timing of that? Is it going to be a warm one? Is it going to be a cool one? It looks like we might actually have a mixed bag. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, the models get better and better as you get closer in, but looking at a better shot for rain, especially on Thursday.
All right, Candace, thank you. Thanks so much for joining us this noon. Our next newscast is at 3. You can always check clickorlando.com for any updates. Have a great day.